Hi, my project is on chemistry, and so you've probably all seen those projects where they have the volcanoes and then the bubbles come out to make it look like the lava. Well, I'm going to tell you the chemistry behind that. First, I have to tell you what an atom really is. So, the things that make up an atom are the nucleus, which is the center of the atom, the protons, the neutrons, the electron cloud, and the electrons. The nucleus is the center of the atom. Inside of the nucleus are the protons and the neutrons. The protons are positively charged atoms, and the neutrons, positively charged particles. The neutrons are neutral particles. All around, surrounding the nucleus, is the electron cloud. In the electron cloud, people like to think of it as rings because that's an easier way to think of it. In the first ring, there can fit 2 electrons. In the second ring, it can fit 8 electrons, and so on. But since this is a carbon atom, it has 2 electrons in the first ring, but it only has 4 in the second ring. And it has 6 protons in the middle and 6 neutrons in the middle. Now I'm going to tell you about the atomic weight. The atomic weight of an atom is roughly how many protons and neutrons are in it. The atomic weight of a carbon atom is 12, so that means there are 12 protons and neutrons altogether. So the protons have a electrical charge, but they do weigh. The neutrons do not have an electrical charge, but they do weigh. And the electrons weigh nothing at all, but they do have an electrical charge. Back to the volcano idea. So those bubbles that come out, I'm going to tell you the chemistry behind that. So what they are adding is baking soda and vinegar. Baking soda's scientific name is sodium bicarbonate, and vinegar's scientific name is acetic acid. Inside baking soda, there are carbonates, something like that. But it has 1 hydrogen, 1 carbon, and 3 oxygen. The acetic acid, or the vinegar, the only thing that really reacts is the hydrogen. So when they add the baking soda and the vinegar, these 2 things, the carbonate and the hydrogen, they come together and they make CO2 and H2O. CO2 is the stuff that we breathe out, and H2O is the stuff that we drink, water. The reason that this happens is because since the atom only has 4 electrons in its outer ring where it can fit 8, it's looking for something to bond with, which I will show you right here. So this is the periodic table of the elements. So on this first line right here, the purple ones, these are noble gases. That means they're fine just the way they are. They don't want to bond with anything. Although these ones are the ones that are trying to bond with everything that they can find. The carbon is right here, and it is trying to come and bond with something. So the 4 ways that you can spot a chemical reaction is by A, color change, B, temperature change, 3, bubbles, and 4, precipitation. Precipitation is when in the liquid form a solid form takes place. The two ways that atoms can bond together, well, some of the ways are ionic bonding and shared electron bonding. Ionic bonding is when the two atoms come together, but one atom takes all of the electrons. Shared electron bonding is when the two atoms come together, but they share the electrons evenly. So basically, as a review, chemistry is the study of matter. Matter is basically the stuff that makes up the universe. And then atoms are the building block of the universe. The things inside of an atom is the nucleus, protons, neutrons, electron cloud, and the electrons. A neutron is a neutral particle, an electron is a negatively charged particle. The nucleus is the sphere that holds the protons and the neutrons inside of the atom. And the electron cloud is the space that holds the electrons. The periodic table is a way to show people how different gases react and like what their atomic number is, all of that. And then the atomic weight is roughly the amount of protons and neutrons in the atom. Well, now you know. Well, now next time that you see one of those experiments where they have the volcano that erupts, you'll know the chemistry behind it. Ari.
How many elements are there?
I'm trying to see if it. Well, in this periodic table, it says that there are 118. Gavin.
Are there atoms that can explode?
Well, some atoms, if they're brought together, they could probably make an explosion. Brooke.
Only makes baking soda and apple cider vinegar?
No. Wait, I didn't understand the question. Can you?
Like, to have your volcano thing erupt, can you only mix baking soda and apple cider vinegar, or can you mix other stuff?
I don't really know, but the most common one that you use is baking soda and vinegar, and also it's not only apple cider vinegar that you can use. I just used apple cider vinegar because it was the only label we had. Andrea. What chemical reactions can you make with household ingredients and why? Brooklyn. The atoms have a set of rules that they have to follow in order to bond and, Addie. I've never made a volcano, but I have made the baking soda reaction. Chelsea.
Why did you do a project on chemistry?
Because I watched a lot of shows about kid geniuses who did chemistry. I thought it would be easy. It's not. Dylan.
What's the most surprising part?
Probably that. There are so many elements that I did not know existed, or that elements are a thing. Yes.
What was the funnest part?
putting the glitter on the molecules.
Last question.
Yes.
What was the most confusing?
Having to read chemistry books for a long, it was like, probably the most confusing part was about how they like actually came together, but then they broke apart instead of just turning into one thing. Oh, it's a car.